Mastodon!
Pterodactyl!
Triceratops!
Saber-tooth tiger!
Tyrannosaurus!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my content. So I was going to do a commentary video for this, but instead I wanted to do a regular video on this, and the reason why I want Netflix to adapt the Go-Go Power Rangers storyline comic into the main storyline of the Mighty Morphin reboot, according to Johnathan Entwistle, so shout out to him. Now, the first thing I want to get adapted is Jason's storyline with his father, because if y'all remember the episode from season 1 where they had this whole Parents' Day thing and all of their parents were wearing the Rangers' same colors, but I think for Jason in the Go-Go Power Rangers run that it was revealed that his father was kind of sick at some point, but we've also learned from him is that he was a bully as a child, and that could be the main reasons why he was like that on the TV show, always serious and always being this big brotherly type of guy, you know, that is always in the martial arts. And you know what? That's one of the main things that I want them to adapt in the Netflix Go-Go Power Rangers, well, the Netflix reboot of the Mighty Morphin TV show. Well, the film, then TV. So then you have Zack Taylor, and why do I think that they should adapt the comics version of? I think they should just adapt the Go-Go Power Rangers Zack Taylor onto the movie/TV show of Mighty Morphin if they're ever going to adapt it. So basically, the comic version of Zack is way different than the one in the TV show. But I would say that they should use some elements from the 2017 movie of Zack's mother being sick with cancer and worrying about not helping her enough. So I would say this, I would give them some ideas of my own, because if you've seen the live stream that I've done a while back, go check it out. But what I would say is this: have them use some elements from the 2017 film of Zack Taylor's character and his mother being sick with cancer, or leukemia for that matter. Now, if they were to do this, I would say have him create a GoFundMe page or do something to spread awareness for a great cause to pay for his mother's medical bills now that she's sick with the cancer. But if there's nothing that they can do, I would say him create a social media in order for them to, you know, donate some money for Zack's mother's, you know, cancer treatments. So that way, if you do something like that, I think that could make his character even believable, even more lovable, and why that he is so, well, such a ladies' man. But I would say if you use some of those elements from the 2017 film, I think it could work, while remain the hip hop keto guy, him dancing around, you know, just being a ladies' man like he was in the TV show and onto the comics, because the comics make sense than the original series, in my honest opinion. So like I said, if they do that, I think it could save them some trouble for the Zack character. So Billy Cranston. Billy Cranston is one of my favorite characters from the original 5. But I think in the Go-Go Power Rangers, the way they utilize him a bit better, because there was a few issues where he was having self-doubts of wanting to continue to be a ranger, and even thoughts about quitting at one point because he missed one mission until he got there too late. Everybody was questioning him and being harsh on him, especially Jason. And it went on to the next issue. And I think those type of conflicts needs to be adapted in the Netflix reboot film and TV show. Because I think for the Mighty Morphin TV show on Netflix, it could easily work, you know, to fit the maturity, the tone, not too dark, but being lighthearted at the same time. Just a little bit of both, as long as you don't go and change drastically. So I think you could do something right about the character. Now, the TV show, it makes sense because he's a nerd, and he was the one that built the communicators, the Rat Bug, and he was the one that was able to get the Rangers through when it comes to upgrading the weapons and the Zords, etc. So if you use some of those elements from the show and into the Netflix reboot and the Boom Studio comics, mix all of that together, and then you'll have a great Billy character. Trinity Kwan, I think for the most part, you could just have her be the new character in Angel Grove. Now, I wouldn't say it like a new character. I would think that you could just somehow be her. You said that she could just be the new kid in town, even though she lives in Angel Grove, California. But say that you could just have her move into a different town of Angel Grove, even though you're from the same complex, right? Now, if she were to be this new kid in school, just struggle to make friends, but once she sees Kimberly, I think the two of them would have clicked just like that. They both have some similar family issues, you know. I guess in the Go-Go Power Rangers, you've seen Trinity's mom for the first time, well, her parents for the first time, and they could just talk about their religion and some type of tradition they do as an Asian culture. You know, be a little stereotypical though, but don't make it too stereotypical just because she's Asian. But so what? It doesn't matter. But if you use those type of elements in the Boom comics and adapt that into the Netflix reboot movie / TV show, I think for the most part, Trinity's character could make sense if done right. Kimberly Hart. Now, Kimberly, like I said, I'm not a fan of that character. No disrespect to Amy Jo Johnson. I think she's a wonderful person, but I wasn't really feeling her character. She may be iconic, but I think the comics of the Go-Go Power Rangers run did her character a bit better. Now, if you could just somehow adapt the Ranger Slayer Kimberly into the Netflix reboot and onto the TV show, well, have her face the young Kimberly, like both Kimberlys fighting each other for the important plot. Somehow, if you could do that, there's a possibility that this could work as far as like her character goes, you know, and you could just adapt her dating Matt originally before Tommy came along. I think if you were to do something like that, maybe, just maybe, I think the fans would even respect the character even more. You know, as long as she's not your very, very, you know, drastically stereotypical Valley girl from California, but really her actress is from Memphis, Tennessee, or Houston, Texas. I don't even know where Amy Jo Johnson's from. I'll probably just like, you know, look it up on Google. Looks at me being nosy. And I think what I would do is adapt the storyline of her and Matt in the relationship, and then later on, Johnathan Entwistle's TV show of Mighty Morphin or in whatever Power Rangers adapting, have him or her date for a few moments, for a few minutes, a few months, until he later finds out that, you know, all of them are the Power Rangers. He breaks up with Kimberly, and he immediately stops talking to them after they kept a secret from him. As a Power Ranger, you don't wanna reveal your identity secret, because if you do that, not only you're gonna get exposed, but people will, like Matt, kind of, you know, hate you for a little while until you realize that, you know, now I know what. Now he will know that why they kept that secret from him. So I think for the most part, this could be a better character arc for Kimberly in Johnathan Entwistle's Power Rangers universe if he were to adapt the Go-Go Power Rangers run from the comics. And yeah, I think that could make sense for the most part. So I think for Zonan and Rita, borrow some elements from the 2017 Power Rangers movie, because we know that Zonan and Rita were the original Rangers before things went south when he sealed her into the space dumpster and sent her flying through space without ever coming back. But I think the Go-Go Power Rangers comic did the characters better, because we know about Zonan and Rita and their backstory. If they could just somehow adapt that into Johnathan Entwistle's Power Rangers universe, think about how cool that would be, because the comics make sense, unlike the TV show. You could adapt that into the Netflix TV show and movie. Easily makes so much sense, if you ask me. So, right after you adapt some of that elements from the comics and onto the movie first, and then the TV show. 16 episodes from the comics and onto the Netflix show until you do a movie about the Green Ranger. Think about this. The movie pilot about the original 5 from the comics, then the TV show, and then you do a movie with the Green Redeemer saga. That could easily work. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. If they were smart about this, I think they would just adapt some of the stuff from the comics onto the TV show, and then you do the Tommy storyline in the film for the next movie. This could easily work, to be honest with you. So, those are my ideas and why I think Johnathan Entwistle should adapt Mighty Morphin reboot for Netflix movie and TV show from the Go-Go Power Rangers comics, mixed with the 2017 movie and the original TV show. And I'm gonna see you in my next video.